Welcome to week 6. This week is kind of a big week. We have a lot of last going on in this week, but we also have the start of our major project. So I told you back in week 1 that the final project for this course is broken down into two parts. So we're going to do the first part this week, which will be all of your research for your major project that you will be presenting in our Zoom session next week. So, couple things to go over really quick. I'm going to cover your reading check 6. This is your final reading check for this course, and it's going to be the same open note, open book. 2 attempts, the higher of the two scores is what's going to be recorded. There is also 2 blog posts. These are your final 2 blog posts of the semester. So if you want to get those done early in the week, you are more than welcome. That's going to give you more time to focus on this project and knowing that that project is completely out of the way. So for this project, you have a little bit of reading to do. You've got the significance of ethics and public speaking, introduction to persuasive speaking, types of persuasive speeches, and then getting the most out of a persuasive speech. You've also got some tips for video conferencing, and that is going to be because you are using Zoom to record this week and for our big presentations over Zoom with me in the following weeks. So you're going to be picking a live policy presentation. And before I hop into the assignment, I just want to cover a couple things that you're going to need. So the live policy worksheet, this is the worksheet that you're going to use. Blackboard lets me open it. This is the one that you're going to be using for this assignment. You're going to need to download this file. Oops, I'm sorry, that is the example. So let me go down here. You're going to download this file, and this is what you're going to be filling out for your project. This is where your link is going to go for this week's project. So as you saw up here, I do have an example just so you can kind of see what the project will look like as far as like the written portion. I did not include the student's link because she only gave me permission to use her research portion. So this is what your filled out document should look like. You're going to have your source fully cited in APA or MLA format, and then your source evaluation for each of those. The other thing that I wanted to point out, coming up with a policy topic can be intimidating. So I have just kind of collected a running list of frequently used topics in this course. There's several options, but this does not limit to what you have to choose. You can use any topic that you would like. It is completely open to your discretion. But this just kind of gives you a running list of things that I frequently hear about that could kind of give you a starting point. All right, so hopping into the assignment. There's a couple different parts, as you saw in the example, of what you're going to be doing. So you're going to pick a policy that you feel needs to be changed. This is going to be just a practice run of your live policy presentation. So whatever policy you pick this week, it's going to be the same policy that you're going to use next week. The sources that you have in this document are going to be the sources that you're going to be using in your larger project. That's why I say it's 2 parts to complete the larger piece. So you're going to have 4 sources that you're going to have to find, and then you're going to evaluate them and how you're going to use them in your project. You're going to have a research plan, how you're going to use these sources to persuade your change agent. And it's not just a summary, but really just, again, an evaluative summary of how you're going to use that source. The big thing with picking your sources is you want to make sure that you're using valid sources. I will go through and I will be looking at every single person's sources. And the way I typically do it is I will grade in the order of what your presentations will be. So if you are presenting in slot 1, day 1, your presentation for this project, this will get graded first. That way, if there's an issue with one of the sources, I can come back and let you know. If there's something questionable about your change agent, I can come back and let you know. So you're probably wondering what the change agent is. So your change agent is going to be someone who can realistically make that change to your topic. So let's just say that you are talking about high school dress codes and why we need to change high school dress codes. So you're going to probably target school boards in that situation. Maybe you're looking at a very specific school district and you want to target the Richland 2 school board. That would be very specific to who you want to approach in this topic. So change agents are going to be important. If I feel like your change agent is not quite on track, I will let you know in the feedback section. So it's going to be really important to make sure that you're checking your feedback right before your presentations are coming up so you can see if there's any adjustments you need to make. So the second part of this is you're going to be creating a 1 to 2 minute video of yourself doing a live chat on Zoom. There's a couple things that are going to be important with this as well. So I am strongly recommending that we only use Zoom because that is the platform you're going to be using in our presentations. And that is going to give you a chance to kind of get more familiar with Zoom if you haven't been using it throughout the semester. But it's also going to give you the chance to get practice with presenting to another person. So you will have one person live on the screen with you. Zoom can be kind of tricky, so it will be really important for them to say hello in the beginning and goodbye at the end so that we can see them or at least hear them to know that you did, in fact, have an audience member. So that will be required that they say hello and goodbye. It is not a back and forth discussion. It is you presenting to them what your life policy topic is going to be over. You will cite one of your sources during your presentation to kind of back up and to give you practice for the presentation. And again, as we've been doing in other projects, it should include the website, the title of the article or section of the website, and the author if they are available. So you'll upload your video to YouTube, drop that link into the worksheet, and then the worksheet will be uploaded to the Live Policy APP Dropbox. Those are the big things. So your final 2 blog posts, your Live Policy APP presentation. And again, I will stress this topic that you use this week will be the same topic that you're going to use in your final project. And then you also have your last reading check this week. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Do not wait until the last minute to start this project. If you are unsure of a topic, don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a quick email or a Blackboard message to see if you're on the right track if you're concerned. But if not, I hope everybody has a great week, and I'm looking forward to hearing what your topics will be. Have a great week, everybody.